All of you living in denial, all of you refusing to learn how political systems work, all of you that won't discover the history of our republic, you are releasing hell. You are turning loose every criminal interest on the planet that for decades has been flooding to Washington, D.C. to buy off our politicians. The corruption starts small, but once it gets a toehold, it grows like a cancer. Our republic has a cancer. The crimes of the private central banks that took over in 1913 are legion. Setting up the Ponzi schemes, stealing tens of trillions by holding the economy hostage and demanding their kept Congress give them tens of trillions of dollars. It goes on and on. The torture, the wars, the lies, the TSA, the police state, the checkpoints, the government-run schools, the fluoride in the water, the GMO. This is my last video of the night, but I can't just sit here and become accustomed to corruption and tyranny and to watch wars launched without congressional approval, carbon taxes launched without congressional approval. The ATF now, for the first time in history, can't pass a law. They just implement it without law. I've written the articles. We posted the videos. They're all posted right here on this channel. It's incredible. There's so many examples it makes my head spin. And think about what's going to be happening next week, next month, next year. We are being ruthlessly, financially conquered. And to have the Constitution going up in flames, to have this giant ruse with the Republican and Democratic leaders acting like, you know, this debt limit was so big, and ooh, it's all political, and Harry Reid's fighting with John Boehner, and Obama's in the middle of it. I mean, it's all complete garbage. You've got these degenerate political fat cats in both parties who've always hated in the House and Senate having to try to get the votes from the other members, going, oh, we have a plan. This 12-member council of the House and Senate with Obama as the 13th, he'll make all the decisions now. And if you don't pass the bill we bring you, members of the House don't introduce bills anymore under this. It says the whole economy, the entire legislative system will be under it. It all comes out of this council. And the president can veto anything in the council, so he's the final arbiter or dictator. And don't worry, the cheap suit wearing, you know, guy that fills a suit, teleprompter Obama, he's going to leave. They'll have a new puppet. But these puppets sit there for the special interests that, again, don't just not care about you. No, they enjoy destroying freedom. They enjoy destroying free market. And we're living a nightmare. We're living a nightmare. People can learn UFC fighting scores or baseball scores or NBA scores. Well, you better start learning about history and tyranny and constitutional republics. Congress can't give up its authority to launch wars. That's treason. That authority is in the Constitution, and it's theirs because we elected them. And there's a separation of powers. Hundreds and hundreds of members versus one president. The feds can't take states' rights. The states are co-equal. Now they turn into vassal puppets. The president can't get together with the leaders of the House and Senate and decide to pass a law that the rest of the House and Senate have no power. But this is an extension of everything we've already seen in the mid-90s. Congress giving up its authority on trade under the World Trade Organization. God almighty, we're in trouble. For more than 50 years, the UN under UNESCO has set our educational rules. Here in Austin, they say, we don't care if they don't pass carbon taxes in Washington. We'll implement them under the UN. It's going on and on and on. We have to stop being naive. We have to get upset because all these criminals, slick lawyers, are going to sit up there and act like there was a fight that happened and a debate and something reasonable was done, when what happened is outrageous tyranny. They've got the votes in the Senate to pass this. The House has now passed it. To turn over its authority to a 12-member board with the president at its head, a total of 13. I mean, it's one thing to intellectually know this stuff. It's nothing to see it happen. And I wanted to play you a few disgusting minutes of the president's little speech on Sunday night when he came out and knew that he had this super Congress that his handlers have been pushing for, just going to play a short clip of it. This is from Barack Obama's own website, Barack Obama's personal YouTube website. And here he is acting like something reasonable was done and that his constituents called and they got a good deal. Yeah, they're devaluing the dollar, which destroys the cost of living increase for all of you people on fixed incomes and Social Security. They've frozen the COLA for Social Security. They're totally raping you. You idiots think that the government health care was to give you some free health care. It was written by insurance companies to cut the quality of care. Doesn't cover pre-existing conditions. It's all a giant screw job. Wake up and stop being naive. For God's sakes, watching you get conned and being willful idiots is disgusting. Look at this. I'm going to play you just a short clip of this. This is President Obama babbling in his cheap suit. I mean, he just looks so absolutely pathetic, just an empty vassal, a total puppet. Now listen to this crud. Oh, hey, you're going to be getting your Social Security check after I fearmongered you and scared you and terrorized you. You know, we got a reasonable deal done.
I know many of you have been watching the standoff in Washington these past few weeks over the national debt. It's been a tense debate because the stakes were so high. A default on our debt would have been a devastating blow to our economy at a time when we can least afford it.
Oh, yeah.
It would have meant higher borrowing costs, higher prices, and put millions more jobs in jeopardy. That's why so many of you wrote, called, emailed, and tweeted members of Congress to urge a responsible resolution to this crisis.
Yeah, it's very responsible to hand everything over to a secret council basically run by the president, and if Congress doesn't pass what they bring forward, then it goes into law anyways. Oh, that's wonderful. What's coming next? Oh, it's so responsible. And now instead of talking about our productivity or how hard we work as Americans, we're hearing about credit ratings and banks like we're a third world country. The greatest creditor nation, now the greatest debtor nation. It's only going to get worse. I know you won't listen now, but down the road you will. Here, let's finish up here.
And I want to thank you for that.
No, I want to thank you.
The pressure you put on Washington is one of the reasons we finally reached a resolution in the only way we could.
Yeah, it's not that they were all bought and paid for. I mean, where is the Tea Party? The so-called Tea Party handing their authority over in the House. Well, a lot of Tea Party did vote against it. The Republicans voted as the largest group along with Democrats for this. God help us. Most of them are just a bunch of idiots. I don't even know what's going on.
An agreement between both parties. It's an agreement that...
An agreement between both parties, yeah, where the leaders of both parties become little petty dictators with you, you son of a bitch. Oh my God, I can't handle it anymore.
Averts an unthinkable default, as well as the prospect of another standoff just like it months from now.
Oh, yeah. See, there won't be another standoff months from now because this council is basically a dictatorship. Remember 3 years ago when they gave $27 trillion to the foreign bankers? That was going to fix it all? Oh, but I'm afraid it didn't fix it all, did it? No, things just got worse, didn't they? Which is better for them. I got a bunch of IMs pouring in, so there must be some big news developments. I'm going to go ahead and cut this off, and I'll cover it tomorrow live on the radio. But I leave you with the puppet in chief. They're conning all his poor moron supporters that thought they'd get free cars and houses, and all they've got instead is total gang rape. Just like all you idiot Republican supporters that love Rick Perry, who's Al Gore's former chief of staff in Texas, and you love Mitt Romney, who wrote Obamacare, and you love Newt Gingrich, who's a big carbon tax globalist.
Something that would have kept a cloud of uncertainty hanging over our economy.
Yeah, exactly. Something that would have put the bankers back in their place. A cloud of uncertainty in our debt rating. Look, I'm done. But just know from here it just goes downhill. And remember you were warned, because as things get worse down the road, you'll remember. And then we can bring these criminals to justice. I know we can beat them. We don't have a choice. Oh my God, it's so disgusting.